Guys, it's been a real long time since I last made a video, mainly due to the fact that I got permabanned and I just haven't played anywhere near as much since then. I started playing quite a lot in the last couple of months and I think I'm back, for now at least. I may try to get Master again this season, but we will see. Anyway, I just want to make this video due to a post on the Rumble main subreddit in regards to Rumble and its late game in general. In this video I'm going to cover two things. Firstly, a small guide, or rather a commentary on a game of Rumble Jungle I played. Secondly, I'm going to show things such as a good Rumble ult, a bad Rumble ult, and a few late game team fights and how to play them. Please keep in mind that whilst I used to be one of, if not the best, Rumble OTP on Europe West, for a period during last season, I'm certainly not anywhere as good as I used to be in terms of decision making and mechanics, although my general game knowledge is about the same. First thing I'm going to cover is the runes I took this game. The primary tree is Sorcery, with Comet as my keystone. I then took Ultimate Hat, Celerity, and finally Water Walking. The second tree I took Resolve and had both Bone Plating and Second Wind. I do want to point out that I feel as if Chrysalis would have been a better choice over Second Wind within the context of Rumble Jungle, so I will admit taking Second Wind was a mistake, but within the context of laning phase I think absolutely Second Wind alongside Bow Plating is way too strong to pick over anything else in it as a secondary tree. And secondly, I would also like to point out that whilst I think Predator in the Domination tree would be great on Rumble Jungle, the rest of the tree is pretty awful for Rumble and therefore not really a viable option. I do think rune worth taking on Domination is Cheap Shot, but simply due to the fact that Bone Plating is a thing and will always be taken by any user of the Resolve tree. Cheap Shot isn't really an option. That's also why I've generally stopped taking Scorch in Sorcery. I do take different runes for laning, of which I mostly play Rumble top and seldom mid, and I'll show and explain those in a different video, but for now let's just hop into the game. Okay, so hopping into the game, we have Renekton top lane. I'm playing jungle Rumble. We have a Mouse mid, Kai'Sa ADC, and Nami support. They have Ornn top, Kayn jungle, Kata mid, Tristana ADC, and Blitzcrank support. So, starting the game, obviously you will always want to go Hunter's Talisman. There's not really any case where you'll want to go Machete. So yeah. For the majority of this game I will be playing with Red Fog of War, but I think it's worth showing that this game I made the mistake of not calling my top laner to cover, and therefore he took my Raves, took my red. Yeah, so we'll just speed past this. So as you can see, this is something that a lot of Kanes do. You need to pay pretty careful attention to it. Simply just having a top laner cover here is enough. Quite annoying that he didn't do it, but again, it was down to me really to call him over to come do this. If I had more experience against Kayn, then this wouldn't have been a problem, but obviously I don't play Rumble Jungle that much. I play much more top lane. So, just gonna do this. Clearly is you take Q first, W second on Rumble Jungle, and then E third. So I come here, I realise, oh, he took everything, including red, which would then, yeah, not really much you can do. There's no point doing these. I can't gank top, can't gank mid. Maybe could have touched mid, but I don't have any slow. Miles doesn't have any slow either. So I then hope to God he does a slow clear and I can take reds. Miles actually rotates here, which is quite surprising, which is super useful for me. And this guy obviously misplays by not coming and checking his red immediately. So I take this. We zone him out a bit. This fight, it's not great for us, to be honest. It's not great. We tried to burst this guy. It would have helped if this guy had Ignite, but he didn't have Ignite. I get first blood, I believe. No, first blood was already taken by Tristana, but yeah, this Kayn picks up a pretty good double kill, which then leads him to get a pretty early transformation, but there's not really much I can do about that. So this failed. It's fine though. So it means I'm going to be behind for a lot of the game, at least early game. I clear these, etc, etc. Here is where I come top. Ornn has vision of me here, but even in Diamond 5, people don't have the best map awareness. You know, I get pinged back twice. I even clear it. I'm gonna change fog of water to blue here. So he should be backing off. He should be backing off. He saw me do this. There's no reason for him to play up this far. He doesn't have any sums, so yeah, we just kill him. There's nothing he can do here as long as we play it correctly. I red smite him. I get like a couple hundred damage from it, and he just dies. Great kill for Nixon. What you really want to do once you have ult is focus on bot lane a lot. Bot lane is just, it's pretty easy to gank. Even though they have Tristana, I'm just Rumble. They have no vision as far as I can tell. So I just walk up, Blitz tries to engage, and so I just want to point out this ult. This is the only escape, obviously. You just want to lay it both on them. So a bare minimum, you're going to get Blitz Flash, or so you can see here. I don't believe he actually flashes on this. We'll see. But I flash on Trist. To be honest, Trist only needed to use ult here, but she flashes from my E. We don't get Blitz Flash, but we just get Blitz, and we get a Trist sum. That's a pretty successful gank. You really want to put your bot lane ahead, because when you put your bot lane ahead, it puts 2 people ahead instead of just 1 for a solo lane. I said I'd talk about bad ults. I suppose we can do this one here. You never really want to ult until they use their escape. Unless, of course, it's on multiple people, in which case I guess that's fine. But for instance, just ganking here, if I just double E'd him, so I would have got this E off, it would have hit, and then got another E off. He would then have to E away. You know he doesn't have flash, and obviously once Ornn uses his E, if he doesn't have flash, then he has no escape. And then I should have laid the ult down, but I lay it down like this. He E's this direction, which is smart. Some players would E in this direction, in which case they'd be fucked. But E's in this direction. He gets cocky, and so I just kill him. I'm tanking tower here. He goes back in as well to headbutt, but I just back away. Renekton then goes in. This guy might have been fine if he just walked away, but yeah. You'll almost always want to go straight into Zhonya's once you've picked up line injuries. I've been messing around with the Morello's second, but I think, to be honest, even against Vlad, it seems bad as a second item. I think as a third item, it's really between that, Void Staff, or Death Cap, with Death Cap being something you pick, I'd say maybe 70 to 80% of the time. I would suggest Morello's if they have like a Soraka and then a Swain, Vladimir, something like that. But as a third item, I would definitely suggest it, not as a second item. With the item changes that happened a while back, maybe a few patches now, they moved the Magic Pen from Liandry's straight onto Morello. Although they changed the damage on this, so it's maximum instead of current. I still think Liandry's is a weak item for a Rumble, but it's still absolutely something you need to pick. So now they're sieging. If I would have walked this way, I obviously would have died because I walked into 5. Mauser's bot. There's not really much we can do to contest this at the moment. Although I do have ult, there's not really much we can do. Until they overextend here. So this is, although it could have been placed a little better, what this does is it makes Katarina die 100%. There's nothing she can do. If she retreats, she dies. If she walks this way, obviously she dies. If walks this way, she dies. If I placed it like here, and then did it towards this angle again, it would have been on her. We would have killed her slightly quicker, but the effect would have been the same. Tristana's fucked here. Ornn can't fight. Blitz can't go in either. Garcina walks my own and dies. So now I'm zoning their ADC and Blitz while my team picks up these guys. So we'll just speed it up a little. So we get these guys. Tristana uses her ult on Kai'Sa, but we still pick up Ornn. And of course, this is now a free Baron. 22 minutes in, it's a free Baron. I chased for a little for Tristana, but I don't find her. She ended up walking this way instead of this way. So we then get free Baron. I just want to cover this quickly. For red side, it's perfect for doing Baron as Rumble, because if they go from here, you always obviously want wards. So if you can get a ward here and a ward here, that's perfect. And it basically allows you to completely ult off this section or this section, and it means they can't even contest for 5 seconds. Literally 5 seconds, you'll zone the majority of their team. Okay, so this seems to be a pretty good team fight. We just go back here. So all enemies are coming from this side. So if I land a good ult, I can completely zone them. We can get Dragon for free and then back out. I think my ult was a little sloppy again. I think I should have maybe held it for a little longer, until either they engaged on us or so and so. But Tristana's zoned off. Their team's zoned off. Kayn goes in, but I get the smite. One comes from behind. Yeah. So in this team fight, I see Tristana got hit, but I also want to AoE these guys. So I AoE these guys initially, and then I turn my attention to Tristana. And then when they all turn on me, that's when you want to Zhonya's. Mal's got a good E, killed both Blitz and Trist as she ran. Then we end up killing this guy. So here it looks like Kayn can actually just wipe both me and Nami, but we kite him. I get a good flash off here, and then we can chase him down just with the help of Nami and just bop him for the kill. There's nothing obviously we can do here because, I mean, we get a tower, but that's the extent. This Rumble has no push power. Okay, so this is a team fight I particularly want to show. We're just doing the Baron dance. So they start it, and I see an opportunity to ult here. Now, while it initially looks good, you need to consider that A, who's it hitting? It's hitting both Blitz and Kayn. Both of those targets don't really matter, and secondly, it is hitting Tristana. She's just going to W away. So although it looks like good, it's a 3-man ult, it's going to get quite a lot of damage off. This is a bad ult. This is actually a really bad ult. Blitz just lockets, and then that's, you know, he doesn't take any more damage. Triss took almost no damage. Kayn took almost no damage. They could just walk out of it. So, although, yeah, we lose this team fight because my ult was bad. I guess somewhat of a fairly early Zhonya's. I just didn't want to be CC'd and blown up instantly. But for instance, if I had my ult here, it would have completely blocked off, you know, the team from dying. I'll show you what I mean. But if I ulted here, this last second, and we can go back. Really, you want to save your ult for peel quite often in late game team fights. You want to save it for peel, especially if you have a fed hyper carry like Kai'Sa. So this is a shit ult. Now, if I used my ult here, this would have been a perfect ult because it would have completely blocked off this team. We would have got Kayn for free. There's nothing they could have done. If I ulted this and then Zhonya's, we would have got Kayn for free. Yeah. And although we do get Kayn, by then the enemy team has started to advance and they fuck our mouths. The team would have basically been able to clean up these guys without Blitz or Tristana being able to come in due to my ult. These guys both die. So yeah, this was fight dependent heavily on my ult because I'm pretty fed at this stage, and because I got an incorrect ult, we lost the team fight. So we start the Baron dance again, except this time Blitz overextends. It's a free opportunity. So I see Blitz along here. This is his only path. I didn't know he didn't have flash, but obviously he doesn't have flash. What this ult does is it stops them from advancing much further or forcing them to go further in, which basically means we win the team fight because it's a bad position. If these two back off here, Kayn and Blitz die for free and we get Baron. If they go in, that's really their only choice, and because of my ult, because of the positioning of our team, we just win this fight. So it zones these. You see Katarina backs off instead of going in here. We get Blitz for free, and although Triss can hit people here, that's about it. She can do nothing else. So our team comes in here, Nami gets a good ult, Ornn can do nothing. Although Katarina went in, she got Mouse ulted for a couple of seconds, but that's all it, or not even a couple of seconds, literally a half a second, that's all it takes to shut her down. I'm zoning these two completely, so that's their top laner and their ADC, which is completely huge for a single champion to zone two major people in a team fight. And then I obviously just peel on these guys. And then I get a perfect Zhonya's. I don't die to either of these. So because of the Zhonya's, she doesn't get a reset, and that's about it. Yeah, Kai'Sa cleans up. So complete ace for two members of our team, and we get Baron off that. And this is about the summit of the game. I have, I believe, something like 700 AP, 760 in the river, but so back here, because we have Baron, we really want to pressure bot or top. Obviously the minion wave's up here for top, and we already have most of the team in the bottom side of the map, so it's better just to go bot here. Kai'Sa obviously goes for red, so I want to be careful here. If I get caught, it could be the end of the game. This is quite risky, except I saw their Ornn mid lane, so it's quite hard for me to get engaged upon. So if I just ward here, they can't come from this direction, so they either come from this direction or this direction. Obviously I would get the head start, I could just run away. So I just want to be careful. I want to stay in this brush. I do not want to fight Katarina 1v1. She wins that 99% of the time, unless she misplays. So I just slow push. I take some harass here. And if she went on me, again, she may have died, but she has no idea where my team are. So this really was a mistake by Katarina. And you see team is collapsing here. You rarely ever want to engage with your ult, but if it is the fed carry, basically having the team on her back, and for some reason they're caught on their own, I think this is one of the few situations where it's worth engaging with your ult. So I get my ult down here, which allows Kai'Sa to get a W, hits that, she dies, because I got the ult on her. That's that. Really, that's the end of the game. I mean, not entirely, but yeah, 4v5. We walk up here. I'm looking to constantly zone Tristana with my E's. If I land a single E, it's going to deal upwards of sort of 600, 700 damage with Comet. So we do tower dance. We don't want to dive because I don't have my ult. I've also told Malzahar in this game just to ult Ornn, because there's no point in ulting Kayn, Kata or Tristana, at least the majority of the time, when they have QSS. So when someone like Ornn is just a free pick, or at least any tank as Malzahar, if you just ult him, there's not much they can do, because they can't use any of their abilities. They can't use something like Gargle or Stoneplate, and they just get blown up. Even with sort of 300 MR or 300 armor, 150 MR, he just dies. So I'm zoning Tristana this whole fight. She can't hit our backline. That's it. That's the end of the game. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, feel free to share or like. I would also appreciate any feedback in regards to the video. Let me know if you think I could do something better, and if you have any suggestions as to any content that you'd like to see in the future, please let me know. Cheers and thanks for watching.